we are this close now to the end of the quarter, and I want us to make sure that we're keeping up that momentum that we had at the beginning of 2025.
When they say she
only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only go like once. Life moves fast when you do what you want. At this time, doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want. What you want.
my new look like Halle Berry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know if she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
just some me time.
Hope you doing what you want.
Crib by the beach like Odell. Over my killers don't tell. Shadow my mark of the New York the shelf. Now my bitch is to Chanel. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
get some me time.
Hope you doing what you want. Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only go like once. Life move fast when you do what you want.
In the meantime,
It's not doing what I want.
get some me time.
You doing what you want.
In the meantime,
It's not doing what I want.
get some me time.
You doing what
I'm exhausted. Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. As you can see, I've done quite a bit today for my monthly reset. If I'm talking weird, please disregard it. It's because I'm wearing my retainer. But it is like 10:30 at night. I am absolutely exhausted, but I just wanted to touch base with you guys and give you a few tips, tricks, and pointers as to how you are going to make sure you go into the next month feeling rejuvenated, revitalized, and ready to accomplish goals and get things done. So as I said before, please disregard my speech, and if you hear any wild breathing of sorts, I am dog sitting. His name is Ace, and he's sitting over there. He's so cute. He's a sleepy baby right now, so he tends to snore. But without further ado, let's get into it. So it is Sunday, as I mentioned, and I always really enjoy when Sundays tend to fall at the beginning of a new month. It's like two birds, one stone. It's giving Sunday reset, but at the same time, monthly reset. And it's very special going into this monthly reset because we are nearing the end of Q1. So we aren't just going to talk about different ways that you can just reset and I'm just going to show you aesthetic vibes. Like, yes, there are things that I like to incorporate into my weekly Sunday reset routine that are going to repeat themselves in my monthly reset. However, there are certain things that I like to do going into a new month and especially going into a new quarter that I think you guys would benefit a lot from. Starting with the basics, my weekly Sunday reset, I would love for it to always include some type of beauty maintenance, but that's not always the case. Maybe once a month, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, I'll get some beauty maintenance in there, but it's always ideal to get it done on the weekend. I typically like to go to church, but I didn't have the ability to do that today because I had to be a digital disciple, given the fact that I went to the Dominicans today, and that was a very long process. But the way my schedule was set up, yeah, that's just the way that things ended up working out for me today. So I just listened to church online while I was at the shop. I also had the luxury of finishing my book, while I was at the Dominicans as well. So that was really, really helpful. I've been trying to finish that book for a while now, and it's not a bad read at all. I think that I just don't make enough conscious time to read more, but that's something I'm going to focus on doing more of in the next month in March. That was really, really cool to be able to make use of my time while sitting around at the hair salon. I did get my little silk press, you know, disregard the crease from the clip I had in my hair all evening, but I'm going to wrap it shortly after this. But always like to try to make sure I implement some kind of beauty maintenance before I get into the week, especially at the top of the month. And then more weekly reset routine activities include my grocery shopping, my meal prep, cleaning, laundry, that whole nine. Those are all the things that I tend to do on a more weekly routine basis, and I'm glad I was able to knock those things out and get those things done and be actually in my bed by 10:30. This is a very reasonable time for me. I'm very happy to be here. Now, as for the things that I like to do at the top of the month to get me set and on track for the rest of the month, one includes a new month activity. I've been talking about this for so long, more than I can remember, to be honest, like literally since I've graduated college. And I started doing it as a means to try to make sure that I go into a new month with gratitude and I can set my intentions for the month at the same time. So it's really, really simple. When you saw me journaling, I was actually writing mine down. I would recommend doing it in a journal format. You don't have to, but 10 out of 10 recommend. I feel like it's not only great because you can effectively get all of your thoughts out, but you'll be able to go back to it, reference it, and see how far you've come. All that it is a 3-step journal prompt, if you will. First thing is for you to write 3 things that you are grateful for in the previous month. So I wrote 3 things that February brought me that I was grateful for. I wrote that I got my official promotion and a raise. I mentioned it in my last YouTube video, but that was a big deal for me. I have been working toward it for a while. I also wrote that I finished that book, Black Cake. Very, very good read. Definitely recommend it, but it's been on my goal list for a while now, so I was very happy to do that. And then I also put that I had a wonderful first Valentine's Day with my boyfriend. So those are 3 things from the previous month that I am grateful for. So that is part 1 of your journal prompt. Part 2 is for you to write 3 things that you could have improved on. So I'll put number 2, room for improvement. This part is for us to make sure we are doing some reflection. So we are saying, okay, what did we slack off on? What could we have done better? This is a good idea for you to make sure you're not being overly critical, but rather that you are paying attention to your actions and you're holding yourself accountable and being self-aware. So I wrote number 1 that I indulged quite a bit. So I engaged in more big back activities than I usually do, and I definitely want to make sure that I nip that in the bud in the month of March. So I wrote less big back activity in March. I also wrote that I slacked off with my daily Bible time. I'm supposed to be doing 12 minutes a day of the Bible, and it's more so like 12 minutes Monday through Friday, and then even if I have like a morning where I oversleep or something happens. When I was wearing my hair curly, I feel like I was just not doing my morning routines as consistently as I'm supposed to, just because my hair, like it was a lot. That is something that I'm going to be making sure that I hold myself more accountable to do in the month of March. And lastly, I wrote that I overconsumed wine and coffee, and I'm going to be cutting back on those things in the month of March. My new home has a wine rack, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And I think just because of the aesthetic, I've been more inclined to buy more wine. Like, I just want to fill the thing up. And that's not realistic. And even if I did want to fill it up, I don't have to drink everything that I put in there. Like, but it just goes with the vibe. Like, you know how it feels like new home? Like, you're in your new home era. Like, you want the wine glass and the, like, you want the vibes. But it was getting to be, like, every night. Oh, this isn't even me. I don't even know why I'm doing this. And there's so many calories. I need to relax. And coffee was getting to be every morning. I just needed to cut back. I'm entering my matcha era for so many different reasons. Coffee, I tend to make my coffee at home, but when you don't, it could become expensive. It's also bad for you in so many ways. It's bad for your urinary tract, stains your teeth, bad for your pH low key. Like, it can make you jittery. There's so many different reasons why it's important to not over consume coffee. There's also like the way I drink it, I don't even have a lot of sugar in mine, but it's still sugar. And the main reason that I'm giving it up, despite all of those different reasons, is because I started feeling like my day was off, or my day was not moving and shaking the way that it was supposed to if I did not have my coffee. And I was just like, I do not want to depend on anything at all in order for me to function. Like, it should be depend on the Lord. Why am I depending on a cup of coffee in order for me to function? That's sick. I started feeling like I had headaches, chronic headaches, when I wasn't drinking it. I said, oh no, not me going through withdrawal. No. So I said I was going to cut back for the month of March. I'm actually doing no coffee this entire month. Hold my hand, say a prayer for me, because I also just love coffee, but everything you do should be in moderation. I plan on cutting back on that, and I'm not really drinking any wine in the house. Anytime I consume any alcohol, honestly, it will be at a specific function. I have a lot of different birthdays and stuff coming up, and that actually brings me to part 3 of this journal prompt. That is, what are you looking forward to in the next month? In the month of March, I have so many things happening. I actually have something to do every single weekend in March, which is kind of scary, but it should also be fun. So I put that I'm looking forward to taking a trip to Maryland with my man. That should be a lot of fun. I also wrote that I'm looking forward to taking a trip to Tampa for my friend Danae's 30th birthday. So excited for that. This is like my vacation for this season, because I haven't been on a real vacation since this time last year. I guess her birthday. I need a break. So I'm gonna put in my PTO tomorrow. The flight is booked, honey. Like, excursions is booked. I just need to lay out. I need to relax. So I'm really looking forward to that. And lastly, I wrote that I'm looking forward to being booked and busy. I have so many different business opportunities coming up in the month of March. Lots of different things to do. So when I said earlier that I'll only be drinking at specific functions, it's because I know I have a party to go to one weekend. It's my other friend Beth. It's her birthday. Was like the 2nd week of March. 3rd week of March, I have a networking conference I'm attending, and then the end of the month is when I'm going to Tampa. So I have something specific to do. If I want to engage in libations at those events, that's fine, but I will not be engaging in libations in my home. I can drink water or something, my own little mocktail of sorts. So that's what you guys see me drink earlier today. I bought some non-alcoholic spritzers from Trader Joe's. I also made me a little mocktail, just was ginger ale and 100% cranberry juice from Trader Joe's as well. I got me some kombucha. Like, I feel like you put anything in a wine glass and pretend it gives you the same vibes. So that's something that I will be making sure that I lean into in the month of March. But that is the gist of the new month activity. 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that you could improve on, and then 3 things that you're looking forward to. Putting these things on paper, or maybe even vocalizing them, saying them out loud, talking them through with your friends or your man or your girlfriend or whomever, may be a really good idea for you to set your intentions and to go into this new month feeling revitalized and rejuvenated and eager and excited. That's a new month activity that I wanted to touch on. And then we're just going to mention one more thing. Okay, lastly, I was very excited to get into this monthly reset routine, because March is special in that we are approaching a new season. It is almost springtime. I'm sure y'all have been seeing all of the girlies say how close we are to summer, and they're not lying. We are around the corner from summer. I don't want to skip a season. We are approaching spring, but most importantly, despite the weather, we are approaching the end of Q1. So not so sure if you are familiar with it, but I recently did a life audit. I did this for the new year. When I did my life audit, it consisted of, number 1, a list of accomplishments from the previous year, some things that I could have done better in the year of 2024. The 3rd thing I did was to categorize my goals and to set goals within each category of my life, i.e. the life audit. That consisted of career, content creation, health and wellness, spiritual, and then finance goals. And then out of all of the goals that I set, I broke them down into smaller and achievable goals for quarter 1. For those who don't know, if you work out of a 12-week year, Q1, you can get a lot of things done, which is just 3 months. January, February, March is what Q1 is. Even if you're not doing this personally for yourself, you may have seen some type of framework like this in a corporate setting or at work, I highly recommend setting your goals and working toward them in terms of quarters as opposed to the entire year. It's good to have goals for the entire year. I do have goals for 2025 and I have a whole 2025 vision board. However, I did set smaller and more attainable goals for Q1 because I wanted to be able to do what I'm about to do right now and go back and look at my Q1 list of goals and see how close I am to achieving them, if I have achieved any, and what do I gotta do now in this last month, which is essentially the final sprint. We are this close now to the end of the quarter, and I want us to make sure that we're keeping up that momentum that we had at the beginning of 2025. And what better way to do that than to look back at the goals that we set, see how close we are, and then kick it into high gear so we can get things done before we shift into Q2. So that's what I'm about to do right now. This is my Q1 vision board. Yes, I have a vision board for 2025 and I have a vision board for Q1. You can see that I have some check marks next to some of the things that I did accomplish, which is super, super cool. But some of the things that I didn't write on there, or that maybe I did and I didn't know, I'm just going to read them off to you. And then we're going to just analyze and assess. Okay, this is where we're at. This is where I want to be. This is what I got to do to make things shake and to get things going. And if you haven't done anything like this for yourself, I highly implore you to try something like this for Q2. As we are nearing the beginning of it, which would be April, what better a time than now to just start making that vision board, to just start ideating what it is that you want to accomplish. I just recommend that you do it. Okay, and you're about to see why. So for me, some of the things that I wrote down that I wanted to accomplish during Q1 include I wanted to post one YouTube video a week and one YouTube short per week. I've actually been exceeding that number, so I am very, very proud of myself. So that's something I would feel comfortable checking off. I also wrote that I want to learn how to make something new, which is what I did. I made crab cakes for the first time last month and they came out chef's kiss, so I love that. I wrote that I want to go 2 days within the week without drinking coffee. Clearly, I fumbled that bag, and that's what I said in the previous step, but it's fine. We're gonna cut it back significantly in the month of March. And I also wrote cut back on sugar and alcohol. That goes with the overindulging both in wine and the big bag activities. So we will be using the month of March to correct those wrongs. I also wrote that I want to be journaling more often. I haven't been doing that, so I'm gonna get more into that. I wrote down that I would like to have reached the book of Judges in the Bible, which I have done. So I can actually check that off as well. Plan and budget for a solo date. I have not done a proper solo date thus far in Q1, but I plan to, and especially now that I have finally... Hold on, y'all. What was I saying? Now that I have finally finished the book I was reading for so long, Black Cake, I am really looking forward to going and getting a new book. There's actually a book I've really been eager to get, and I feel like I can make a whole really cute and inexpensive date out of going to get that book, reading it somewhere aesthetic, maybe over a glass of wine. I'm not or espresso martini. I don't know. Maybe I'll make an exception just for my solo date. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I also have get my savings account up to a specific number that I am like $400 away from. So I feel like that's not terrible, but it's a healthy gap that I can work on closing. And lastly, I wrote that I had the goal to pay off one of my credit cards, which I have done. So I could check that off as well. Very happy to do that. Do you see how like satisfying that just was? That was extremely satisfying. I don't know about for y'all, but definitely for me. So as I mentioned, I highly recommend creating a small, it doesn't have to be super extensive or dramatic, but creating some type of visual or even just a list of goals for Q2. Something where you can go back and refer to it as each month of Q2 comes across. One of the main things about my channel that I want to make sure is constantly reiterated is how real I'm going to be on here. I do not want to perpetuate any idea that I'm just living this perfect life. I set these goals and I just achieve them, I accomplish them, boop, 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 easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like, no, I always say this is a journey full of growing, and elevating to becoming the best version of ourselves. But there is also lots of lessons along the way. There are lots of mistakes that are made, and I want y'all to be inspired by my wins, but also learn from my mistakes. I am a work in progress, just like the rest of us. So just being able to have a list of things that I can refer back to hold myself accountable is really, really amazing. And I would love for all of y'all to be able to experience the same thing. And I think it would be great for us to be able to hold each other accountable. This journey would be 10 times better if you were a part of it. So if you haven't already, I would hope that this video has done something for you, enough for you feel inclined to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any goals that you are working toward in the month of March and you're looking for different ways where you can set your intentions, feel motivated and inspired, I hope that these tips and tricks were helpful to you and you can not only feel inclined to get yourself on a regular routine that's going to reset you for the week, but also a routine that will reset you every single month, and especially one that will get you right as we transition from quarter to quarter. So in the comments, can you guys let me know what goals you are working toward? I know I didn't mention it earlier. I just want to make sure I say it. For those who do not know me, hi, my name is Bree, also known as Brianna Michelle, and I am your Gen Zennial bestie, your virtual sis working to successfully navigate her 20s in an attempt to thrive in her 30s. So if anything that I touched on, anything that I said sounds like it aligns with what you want for you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stick around for the journey. It is definitely going to be one worth joining. And for those who are returning, mwah! Yeah, I already know the vibes. I'm about to wrap my hair and get up in the bed. Well, I'm in the bed. It's actually my first time filming in the bed. How do we feel about it? What are our thoughts? What are we thinking? I'm gonna go to sleep. You see the hour. It's past my bedtime. I'm going to get some rest. I hope that you do the same. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful March, and more things are on the way. So make sure you hit the notification bell if you haven't already, because more content is on the way. I promise you, you're not going to want to miss it. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.